Our special guest today, co-owner and editor for the Pitt RP, um, known on Discord as Mr. Normal Man, or we'll call him Brandon. Hello, good sir. How you going?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm going very, very well. Going very, very well. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
We're going to dive into a few of the questions that I've got for you. Um, First of all, how long have you been playing the game we all love, DayZ?
I'd say about 6 years.
6 years.
I did I did mostly official servers for I'd say the first 3 years. I remember when supers were the big thing. I remember walking around and trying to just, hit military bases and there's nothing around. Like the survival aspect of it. Um, yeah, yeah, I went from official and I started moving over to community. Um, like 50 slot PvP servers, and then I found an RP server that I jumped on. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I first joined RP, I was like, this looks a little lame. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I judged it. And so I jumped on, had a blast. It was like being in like a movie. And I was like, all right, I want to go and do this myself. I want to make something special, essentially. And so a bunch of my buddies and I was like, hey, I was like, you guys want to make a server that's stalker related, Metro, like that Metro vibe. I don't know if you guys have played that game before, but you're in the train stations and stuff, and
Yep.
they're all fighting over. Yeah, so we built this huge map of tunnels that go from Novaya Petrovka all the way to Tricresta. They go to Sinistock, Tissy. There's tunnels that go from other tunnels to other tunnel. It's crazy. It's like a giant maze. Novaya Petrovka is like a war zone. There's gas, a bunch of NBC zombies out there. There's two lines that are the major lines. The red line that goes from Civet to Tricresta, and then there's the yellow line that goes from Civet all the way to Tissy and Sinistock. And then there's other areas. There's another line we didn't name it yet, but it goes around northwest. It goes it's like a big circle, and we've incorporated northwest as well for this.
Wow.
So we put it up, put it through beta testing, invited a bunch of people. Bunch of people have jumped on and checked it out. Uh, they really enjoy the server, and sorry, I got my brother on talking in the background. But yeah, it's cool. We got bunker darkness everywhere. Uh, it puts some people off, but a lot of people they want to stick around. So it's cool. And like my favorite, like it was kind of cool to like make this scene. Like I was walking outside the safe zone. Like there's a safe zone, right? And in the safe zone, there's a couple rules. Like you could rob, kill, do all that stuff, but you can't KOS. You just essentially got to like put your hands up, say something beforehand, and then you can do whatever. But like
Yeah.
we're leaving the safe zone, and there's bodies everywhere. I'm walking, someone's shooting me with a Mosin. I turn off my light. I run toward them. I run past them. There's another person shooting a machine gun at me. I got someone laughing in the distance from a cannibal laugh, and it was cool that we were able to like create that environment, if that makes any sense. And we were just running, and we're trying to talk to him too. We're like, I got a family in Electro. Please don't hurt me. Like I went into RP. I was like, because we didn't have any guns on us, and someone was
Begging for your
trying to
life.
say something back,
Begging.
but he was speaking in Polish though. I'm pretty sure he was speaking in Polish at me, and I was like, dude, we need to go. And so me and my buddy just ran. It was fun, but yeah, and it's super cool because like once we made the place, somebody jumped on and they were like talking about like how it's like a different map. Like it doesn't look like Shinaris. It's like a different place and how much he loved it. And what made me excited about that was that like I was able to do that for somebody else, if that makes any sense. I know that sounds kind of silly, but like it was cool that anyways, I don't know.
No,
That
no,
was
no. That's definitely being someone who played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons and actually created my own game. Watching people experience the story that you've sort of envisioned and get to sort of roll through that and enjoy and see the I suppose, the overall picture that you've tried to put out, it's rewarding.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely
You
rewarding.
said it in way better words. Absolutely. It
Yeah.
was cool.
So, you have a co-host. You have the Beast. How did you two sort of get together to start this project?
So we were on another server, and I'm not gonna say anything because I don't think I'm bashing them, but they had an admin that was they were always like looking up our locations and stuff, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
And
Someone
and
was doing the.
so
You felt like someone was doing the naughties on the inside.
yeah, they
Yep.
eventually got caught, and so they it we wanted to get a team together, and we wanted to essentially do the same thing but make sure that never happens, or even the perception of that happening
Yep.
ever. That was like our big thing. That's our big goal. I was like, I don't even want people thinking that we're pulling any bullshit, because it sucked when it happened to us, because I don't know, it ruins it. It
It
really does. It
corrupts
makes
the
you want to
game.
leave.
Everything starts to then lead into
Absolutely.
the world of, was it them who busted into our place? Did our car get stolen because they knew that it leads down a path that I suppose is the same
Absolutely.
as getting shot as with an IJ on PC official. You know, everything after that, the kills is you're not very sure if your kill was legit or not.
Yeah, because even if they do it, like, so like my team, like, even if, or our team, like, even if we can't even have the perception of it, because like on the server that I was on in the past, like they did it. They had one guy, I think one, maybe two guys were doing it, but because they were doing it, the perception was everybody was doing
Yeah,
it, and I don't blame them for having that perception. But
yeah,
the other guys weren't doing that at all. They were all good guys. You get one guy in there that's messed up. So like, I grabbed a team of people that I've known for since I've been on DayZ for years, and I was like, we can't make it any bigger than this. Like, you know what I mean? So
yep,
nobody can have access to that
yeah.
type of
That's right.
information.
You
Because
have to cap it.
we absolutely, because we have all that information. I know where you're at. I know your build. I know where you put your buried loot. I know everything. It tells me where you died, if you fell, if you got shot, what you know what I mean? So it's like we can't be involved in any conflict. Like we definitely can jump in, play around, but there's there's an extent to that. And so that's how we're trying to run it.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that, especially you find a lot of the well-renowned servers and the servers that have longevity, their owners don't actually play them. They
That's
they
kind of
don't.
fair.
Yeah, they
You can
don't.
see that.
Yeah, they don't get in there and get involved as heavily as like they used to. They don't form factions. They probably sit on the outskirts and minimalize their actual involvement with the actual server. Yeah, it's a strange phenomena that happens.
Absolutely. Because like I even do that with because people they'll like rob and kill me, and like I won't even look at my phone, if that makes any sense, because they'll
Yeah.
tell me who did it, and
Yep.
I'm like, nah, dude, just he gets the stuff. It's
I just
his.
wear it.
Like I don't even really fight back. Like I might like try to hit him, but I usually let him just play it through, because my actions matter, if that makes any sense. I don't know. And I just
Yeah.
remember on other servers, people would twist that, and I was like, let's make a place that doesn't do that, or at least it not just not do that, but like no perception of that either. But I can see why owners wouldn't play, because they don't want anybody to have that perception either.
That's where you got to open up a death match. Fair
And then
game.
you can. I was
Fair
about to
Kill
game,
say
me,
that.
do
you can
whatever you
jump
want.
on. Yep, that's true. That's true. That's super true. That's what's cool about it, is like every server is like its own world. So like we have a role playing one, right? But it's also PvP as well. Like right as soon as you leave the safe zone. But like but for you, like you just jump in, grab your guns, start shooting people. There's other ones, like I was on this one called -30. That one was one of my favorites. I don't even know if they have it anymore. And that one was a survival one where like you instantly start freezing. And so like it's cool to see everybody's world, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I really enjoy that. Like
Mm.
it's cool seeing other people's stuff. I love that stuff.
Yeah,
And so like I remember trying to escape Cherno it was freezing cold, and I'm getting all the clothes and starting fires, and it took me like 6 hours just to get to like 2 towns over, and it was like, all right, it was fun, at least.
Insane, some people say. Insane. Training for the next map. That's what that's all about. Training for the next map.
Yeah.
So, where did the idea come from for the server lore and stuff?
My buddy, I played Metro, and I remembered all the games, and I was like, that I would like to do something along those lines. Not perfectly, not completely steal it, if that makes sense, because like technically in the game, you're in Moscow, you're in the train stations. There's a war versus Nazis and the communists, and I'm like, well, this is DayZ. We can't have a Nazi group in there, so we gotta make different factions and change the lore a little bit, and like, and then we can have like our own one-off, our own thing, if that makes any sense. We've incorporated things from Stalker. Buddy of mine loves that game, or loves the movie, and then Fallout. That's another one that we incorporated because we're trying to do a thing. It's from the DLC from Fallout 4. It's called fog condensers. I need to make them look more pretty than they are now because we're in beta, we opened it up, and so we had people jump in, and a lot of people were like, here's a bug here, here's a hole here, here's a mess up here, which has drastically helped.
Yeah.
Like the people who have jumped in, they've been amazing.
Once you get those good testers that come in that don't go, oh, I see something I can exploit, I won't say anything. The guys that come up and say, hey, by the way, you can get through here, you can grab this here. They're always good for those servers to keep the authenticity later on.
Wildly enough, like a lot of the people that we've had a lot of like just random people jump on, of course, like just to check it out, and they'll message me and be like, yeah, you got a hole here, you got a place here, and it's like, all right, I'll fix that. Like, and it's cool. Like it was nice to have that.
You talked a little bit about the lines, red line, yellow line. Are they the particular, I suppose, transit points that run around the maps, as in like a train station incorporating that with the lore?
Yes. So the red line, you'll have Vavlovo train station. It's got a bunch of buildings in there, slummy buildings. Looks downtrodden. Vavlovo looks like a war crime. The city itself, or the town itself. Novaya Petrovka is the main like safe zone area. Kind of, it's kind of safe. I mean, you can still kill people there. Um, and then you got Servergrad, which will be a train station, and then Novo and Civet. And so like we're trying to incorporate like quests in the future as well, like just silly stuff, fun stuff, like be a good guy. Well, I forget what the tags are off the top of my head. There's one for a fisherman, a farmer, and then there's ones for if you want to be a bad guy, you want to rob people, you want to kill people, you want to eat people, things like that. And if you control one of the train stations, it will give you a weekly allotment. So, like, say you take over Servergrad train station during raid week, and you get $5,000 every Monday as long as you control it. And so, trying to incorporate that so people kind of beef with each other, because competition is always good.
Hmm. And it saves people also cracking on each other's base. There's something you can go and raid and try and take over and see the value of just not robbing, the loot of somebody. I actually saw that in the Discord. I thought that was an absolutely wicked idea.
Yeah, because if you want like your base and you want to stash it somewhere, somewhere in the tunnels where no one can find it, and then you come and take Servergrad and you guys are all competing over that, it's almost better to have this train stations than it is to that person's house, you'd say. That's
Yeah,
how we're trying to set it up.
more worth it.
We're also trying, yeah, we're trying to set up the trader in a way too. So the trader, you guys active, like wildly active, and our team is wildly active. So like everybody's on every day, and so the trader works just fine. But we're gonna like when the beta ends and we go live on the 15th, like with the actual like because we have more tunnels, we just never added them.
Yep.
We just kind of put these ones down because we had to see what the lag looked like, and we found a perfect mixture where you can walk around with 20 people and there's no lag, and it's got 8,000 items on the ground, and I'm like,
Wow.
this is actually working really well. Like
Yeah,
we can add the rest. I was like, this is cool, but it works. That's the thing. I ask it people every day. I'm like, you experiencing lag? They're like, nope. You experiencing lag? They're like, nope. The guy on old generation Xbox, he's like, yeah, a little bit. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
That's
Get an
it.
next series.
Upgrade.
Get an
It's
next series.
time.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You
I'm
don't
like,
make compensations
don't
for
go
old
to.
Jenners.
Yeah, I tell him, I'm like, don't go into Novaya Petrovka. Don't go into Tissy. You'll die there. Go anywhere else.
Yeah, I
And
think
they work out.
I think at this stage of the game and being so long after the new gens have come out that it's you can no longer compensate for the old Jenners. They've got to be forced into buying new shit.
Absolutely. Some
Yeah,
of
it's
these
funny.
moddies, man, they build.
Well,
Oh,
wasn't
go
that
ahead.
long
Sorry.
ago that? So it wasn't that long ago that we were talking the other way round, where it was you have to make sure that your builds are gonna fucking work for the old gen.
Yep.
It's good to see we've finally flipped to fuck old gen upgrade, please.
Yeah, I just give them a warning.
Yeah,
Because,
you've
like,
had
we
a
have,
few years. Come on.
Yep.
I'm like, don't go into this town. That's it. Other than that, you'll be fine. Essentially everywhere else. And it
Yeah,
usually
see,
works out. So
and that,
even they can play.
and that's good. Good as in the owner giving that advice out. Say, listen, this is what you're going to expect. Not just, oh yeah, come, you shouldn't have any lag. It's okay. Well, if you're on old gen, you're gonna suffer here and you're gonna suffer there, and that's just part of it. You know, upgrade's probably your best way, but other than that, bad luck.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Uh,
the S series runs it perfect.
yeah, see, that's good. That is good to hear. Role-playing servers sometimes require an application. What does your application
Yep.
show about your players, and why is it important to have?
So yeah, we do have an application process. We have it's to make sure you're kind of serious too, because some people, if they don't want to get through the application process and they just leave, then they really don't want to be there in the first place, if that makes sense. And so we ask them their gamer tag. We ask them, how many points they got on their gamer score, so that we can prove that they're not an alt and all that stuff. And
Yep.
if they do a background and the background's relatively decent, it kind of tells us like they've done this before. And then we got a guy who, I mean, he searches through all of their he searches through all their gamer tags, sees like who they're friends with, everything, just to make sure there's no bullshit.
Ooh, do a thorough exam.
Yeah, he does it when he's at work. Actually, sits there on the chain and he just looks and he's like, all right, this guy's clean, this guy's good, this guy's we've only had like I think one or two people try to come in with alts, and we've gotten rid of them. We've had a lot of owners come in, weirdly enough, like a lot of owners on other servers.
Yeah, they're looking for somewhere to play. They can't play on their server.
Yeah.
That's fair because we had an admin of another server. I'm not gonna say the guy because he joined us, right, and he's bullshitting and he's telling us about the server he's on. And he's like everybody thinks I'm out to get him. I'm cheating, so I just need another place to go. And I'm like, fucking sure, yeah, too easy. Come on in.
Yeah, it is a dicey thing, especially since there is a lot of poaching of players, people coming into your Discord, advertising through DMs. I've always had the rule in my Discord that if you're going to go play on somebody else's server, just be straight up. Most server owners will say, "Oh, you want to come play on my server? Sweet as. Can you give me a little, tell me what you think of it? Does it run well? Because you're talking to someone with experience." So
Absolutely.
I find it quite beneficial to get other owners to jump on and have a run.
Yeah, I don't mind that they jump on. I'm like, come on in. Here's the application process. Look around.
Let's see, have a
How
squeeze.
many pages is this application? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
How many pages?
I think Rex, what do we ask on the application?
I think it's 10.
What is it exactly?
10 from memory.
10 pages or 10
No,
questions?
10 questions. So a
10
lot of the
questions,
applications
Oh,
are
that's alright.
DM
Yeah, it's
based.
minimal. That's
So
minimal.
you launch it, then jumps into your DM and you pump all your questions out one at a time, and 9 times out of 10, they're check the rules, check rating, what's RP, that sort of run through. It was quite easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only reason why I didn't have that off the top of my head is my brother-in-law runs that part of it. I do the editing part.
He's the man
And
behind
so
editor. He's the creator.
he's the guy behind the Discord is what I mean. He's like the application border guard guy. He's making sure you answer the questions properly and what time or rate times, things like that. And the reason why we go through that process is so in the future, if there's an issue, we can be like, well, you did agree to it.
And that I think is the largest thing about RP because you got things like metagaming, you've got things along the lines of people bending and altering the rules. You need a agreeance to sort of say, hey, yes, you did know the rules, and I suppose it's a basis to say, you broke it. This is why we're kicking you out. So don't cause a fuss. You knew. Just leave without any dramas.
Yeah, usually through the application process. If they in the pit, if they have like if they answer anything wrong or if they answer anything wrong, we usually just put them in a ticket. We just try to help them out. That's what we usually do, and it
Yep.
works out pretty well. We haven't had any problems in that direction. Um,
Oh, that's
for
good. So
for
then, like, you can hold someone's hand as they go through the application.
some people are new to this. Like I've been doing it for
Yeah.
years, so like
I.
it's easy. I just jump in, I answer the questions, and I'm in. I'm in really quick. But somebody else, he might be if he was me 3 years ago, he might not know because when I first joined an RP server, like I was like, why do I have to answer these questions? You know what I mean? I didn't understand.
Yep.
And now looking 3 years
Yes,
back, I'm like, oh,
I'm
that
still
makes
in that
sense.
mindset. Yeah. I
No,
try.
and
I
that's
usually just copy someone else's homework. Actually, I say, "Hey, would
I've
you
done that too.
just give me?"
I'm like, what did
Yeah.
you put in?
Yeah.
And as for I've definitely done that before. But as for meta, like so it's not in the rules yet, but we're gonna try to set up a system so like if people like make a faction but they don't want anybody to know, we'll take it out of the Discord. If they want to change their gamer tag and give us another one to work with so people can't watch them on the online list, that's a thing in the past. Like they can just get a hold of us. Hey, this is the gamer tag I would like to use. This is my old one. We'll get rid of the old one, put in the new one so no one can, be some people will check the online list and be like, all right, he's at base. And if he's got a new name, well, he's not at base and they show up at base to hit him, and he really isn't there.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Oh,
good.
nice.
Counter community stuff.
Yeah. 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 Hmm.
So what is
Oh, very cool.
the RP level that you expect from the players?
I mean, as for now, I'd say like if I had to rate it like 4 out of 10, like we're just kind of testing stuff.
Yep.
There are people in there that they're role playing, and when they do, I do it right back because like usually I'm on my way to go check something out. So like I'm in like admin mode in my head if that makes any sense, and I'm
Yep.
like, all right, I gotta go do this real quick. But if someone comes up to me and they start telling me a story about how their grandmother lived, above the ground before the war, I sit there and I, you know what I mean? I'll have like a
You
20-minute
humor 'em.
conversation with them. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
dude, my grandpa used to do the same thing, and like I go off with them, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go. But once it launches on the 15th, like once it actually like we can once the wipe happens and stuff like that, I'll expect a lot more. I'll update people, announcements like, hey, no more out of character stuff and safe zone. Try to clean it up, things like that.
Yeah. That's it. Pull your socks up, people.
And
It's
like
time to RP.
I like working with people in game rather than tickets, if that makes sense. So we haven't had a ticket, which is wild to me, but we
Shit.
mostly do it there. We talk to them. We're like, hey, when robbing somebody, you have to say something beforehand, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, or at least say something after. You can rubber slug somebody, steal all his shit, and when he wakes up, you can be like tunnel snakes rule and run off. Like you got to say something.
Yep.
And one guy kept on just doing it, right? He just kept on robbing people, not saying anything. And so me and my buddy got on and seen him. He showed up. No admin abuse, I swear. Like he literally just showed up, and I was like, "Hey, that's the guy. That's the guy that's robbing people." I was like, let's go rob him and show him how to rob people. So we're screaming at him, get on the fucking ground. And he's like, what's going on? We rubber slugged him a bunch. He woke up. We're like, don't move or you're fucking, yeah. We had a thing with him. And then after we were done, I was like, that's how you rob somebody, by the way. I was like, you just got to use words. And he's like, he's getting all shitty. He's like, I'll bring 15 people over. I'm like, do that. And he's like, well, raid your base. I was like, I live in Tissy. And he's like, and then he calmed down and he's like, all right, all right. He's like, I was like, was this or was a ticket? And he's like, I would prefer this. He's like, fuck tickets. And I was like, all right, cool, cool.
It's a demonstration on how to. That's all that was. It's a demonstration on
Yeah.
how to.
And then we
And
gave
what
him
a
all the
great
stuff back.
lesson, though.
Yeah, I mean, really, because some people probably don't understand if they've never played an RP server before, or or are not familiar with it. Sometimes they actually need to be shown. I mean, one of my friends, right, for years and years, her husband, she used to get pissed off that her husband never put the toilet roll on the toilet roll holder. I know, side story, but it's related to DayZ. But anyway, I'm talking about like together for like 10 years before, like, one day she just cracked and said, my God, can you please put the toilet roll, on the toilet roll holder? And he turned around and he goes, I don't know how. That's why I've never done it. It was like, and she just went, oh, because it had like this little clip thing. And and it's like, well, there you go. So he wasn't just, he was just like, I just don't know how to do
It
that. So,
just a
sometimes
demo.
it pays to actually, yeah, to go and say, come on, I'm going to show you how to put a toilet roll on a toilet roll
That's it.
holder.
Or I'm going to show you how you put a
Fair
gun
enough.
to someone's head, yell and scream at them, and then rob them for all their shit.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
got to remember, for somebody that's walking into an RP server that is kind of new and maybe only lightly done it before, it can be really
Mm,
intimidating as well, you know?
yeah,
I would
I
agree with
agree.
that.
And,
'Cause he was pretty pissed at first, and I was like, "Hey, man, we're not trying to upset you. Like, here's all your stuff back, but you got to do something like that." I was like, "You don't even have to scream or yell. You just still rubber slug them. You just got to say something. You got Tunnel Snakes rule or O'Doyle rules or something. You just got to say something afterwards."
just give that a
He was
Toil
like,
direction.
rules.
and he was like, "All right, all right." He's
Mhm.
like, he's like, "You guys are right. You guys are right." And then we went robbing more people, and I was like, "Cool, like that's perfect." And he was saying stuff afterwards.
Yeah,
He's like, thanks for your shit. And then he would run away.
little coaching, little coaching.
And now he's the neighborhood robber. Now
That's
he doesn't do anything but rob everyone.
that's it, verbally, which is sometimes what you want. That's what you want in a place that's just not KOS. You do want that interaction of battling people via robberies.
Yeah.
Do
I
players?
like it because I like the hesitancy. I like when people are like on edge. It adds a layer to like what we're trying to do. Like, no, we're safe, but this is safe. If that makes sense. Like, this is the safe zone, but if you see somebody with a gun out, you are allowed to shoot them because they can knock you out and take all your shit.
Yeah. So you're
You
safe
know,
for the
Wait.
fact that you won't just drop dead.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we have this one rule for KOS. So how it kind of works is it's like a strike system, but it's a friend of mine came up with it. It's an unwhitelist zone. So essentially, we could kick them from the safe zone, and they can go anywhere they want. They just can't come back to the safe zone. So if they walk in, it unwhitelists them. But they can still play. Like every other place is KOS. If you want to go out there and murder and kill and shoot, whatever you want.
Lawless
That's really
lads.
cool, actually.
But if they
That's
come
really
back,
good.
it will actually it'll just unwhitelist them. Like that's how the strike system kind of works. It's like you get a strike, but we don't ban you from the server, or we don't unwhitelist you. We just tell you to leave, and then we unwhitelist you. You just can't come back for 24 hours or something, or 48 hours.
That's it. Go sit in the naughty corner and
And
think about what you did.
well,
Yeah,
that's
fair.
good for the rest of the players of the server because at least then it protects your RP zone. Because basically is what your safe zone is. It's your main area where most people will come to do their RP. And it does stop those toxic people that just want to run in and shoot everything.
That's true. And we
Mm.
also got a thing that we put on or during events. I forget how my friend put it together, but essentially you can't use guns in the safe zone. They will not let you shoot. Won't even
Oh,
But
let
on
you
the
in.
flip side of that
Is
as
that where the
well, it
guns
protects
point
the people
upwards?
that just made an honest
Yeah.
mistake. Sorry.
No,
okay.
no. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Smiley. My bad.
No. Oh, good. No, I was just going to say, yeah, and on the flip side as well, it also protects those people that just make an honest mistake. Because, that's actually one of my fears with a role play service because of the rules. And because there's like so many servers with different rules, and you just jump over and you might forget that you can't, do a certain thing or whatever. And then, and it if you do it and then you get banned, it's like, oh fuck, I just had a brain moment. You know what I mean? I forgot I can't do that on
I
here or something. So
100% agree with you.
I
That
love
happens
that.
all the
Yeah,
time because I went from
yeah.
I don't want to say the names, but I went from one server to another one, and I did what the other server allowed, and it just went off my head. I didn't even think about it, and I was doing it, and they're like, get out of here, dude. You're starting shit. Like this is clearly you're just trolling, and I'm like, I'm not. I swear to God. I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong one. I'm sorry. I was like, my apologies, and they're like, no, you're out of here. Fuck off. And I'm like, all right,
Mm.
I get it. And then
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
it.
see, I hate that. Yeah, it makes you feel like shit too afterwards, like you're being accused of something, and you're like,
I was like,
yeah. So I like that. That's really, yeah, that's awesome that you've got that.
greedy.
Got people some
I've
slack.
I've kidnapped you before.
Oh, here we go. Oh, I've been kidnapped a few times.
I it so a buddy of mine, his name is Chico. He showed me a video because I didn't even know who you were at the time. He was just like, "Hey, did you do this?" And then like I look and it's us. It's like a group of us, and we were all surrounding you. And I think you got attacked by a bear or something. And like we literally were just driving down the street and we seen you, and you were knocked out. And I was like, "Get out of the car. Let's get this guy." And then we were super nice to you. We're like, "Hey man, we'll give you a ride, or we'll give you a ride somewhere." And you're like, "All right." So you got in the car. I think it was Livonia, if I remember
I
correctly.
was gonna say this sounds like
And
Livonia coming down towards on
and
the west road that runs from Pavlovo to Topolin. I
yeah,
think it
and we
was
took you
on Adventure PVE.
and we took you somewhere, and I think we like somebody rubber slugged you, and we're like, we're gonna make you join our cult. Like we went off, and it was, I remember my buddy was in the video. That's who I seen, and he's just like, he's sitting there. He's like, you're gonna be one of us. You're gonna love God. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's awesome. I was like, who is this guy? And that's how I found out who you were.
He previously kidnapped him. All right, well, I'll see you after the show, like a revenge.
Yeah, he wants to show you his basement.
That's it.
He wants to
That's
show
it.
you downstairs.
That's
it,
super fair. That's super fair.
Put the lotion on, or the bear gets it.
I forget how it plays out. I think you were trying to get some. I think you were trying to get out, and we're like, no, dude, stop. We're like, stop fucking moving, and you were like, yeah, you moved too much. We killed you, I think.
Yeah, Greedy doesn't do hostage very well. The
No,
whole
no,
tied
you're the
up and
terrible
restrained
hostage.
stuff. He usually has to go by my rules and let my hands free. And, if you start getting attacked, give me a gun because I'll start shooting with you. I'm a strange hostage. Just want to be
Bit
part
of
of the
Stockholm
group.
starts sinking in.
Start
Yeah, it
loving
doesn't
my
take
big.
long for that Stockholm to kick in.
They tied me up and made me a little home and took care of me. That's instantly you're in my good books, even though you've kidnapped me.
We had,
Yeah.
I think we had a cage because we put other people in there before. I think that's what he was trying to do with you. He had a cage all set up because that's where we put everybody in, and then we fucking role play with them for an hour or two, and some of them were like, "Hey man, can you let me go?" And we're like, "All right," we'd fucking kill them and let them go back.
That's it. But yeah, usually when I wake up in a cage, it's a pretty good night. So I'm probably a little traumatized from it. Uh, Man, I always get kidnapped.
He's got an extra itch.
That's it. Got an extra itch. It's a new thing. For some reason, I like being confined now. So, any future plans on the server, especially with the update coming out? Is it more of just a launch at 1.26, or is there things happening?
Yeah, so once the launch happens, we're adding there's more tunnels. So like we've had guys on there for like players on there for hours and hours. Just they're mapping the whole place out. And the moment I kind of feel bad because they're like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got it all," and I'm like, "That's so cool," because I mean, if they're watching this, they'll know now. There's going to be way more tunnels, more towns put into the tunnels, more slums, military areas, water. We're putting water in there too because of the boats, so we're going to have flooded tunnels as well.
Nice.
Flooded towns
Sounds
in the
awesome.
tunnels, and what gets me is it's not laggy. I don't know how. Like that was like what we were worried about. I was like, man, there's no one's gonna be able to play on this, and we're like, well, my buddy like messed with the settings and was like, let's test it out, and then we had 25, 30 people jump on, and there was no problem. I was like as if you were playing official. I was like, this is weird. How is this working?
Yeah,
But
nice.
it did.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Let's hope that the next update doesn't corrupt any of that quality.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah, good old 1.26. Any people you'd like to shout out for the support for the journey?
Yes.
Yeah, give us people
Yeah,
that
you're not-
you know who contributed towards making the server, of course.
Psycho. That's my friend from New Zealand. Beast. He's gonna
Ah.
understand this. You know, you guys are gonna find this weird, but he'll understand what that means. Rex, he's my application guy. Sling, he's my killer. Who else? Dino, he's the one that gives us his. He's the one that jumps on and gives us kisses. And Recon. We have the trader. His name is Recon, and I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't even have a server. Really,
Yeah,
that guy works harder than anybody I've ever seen.
I was going to say, big shout out to all the traders out there. There's, you know, they put a lot of time and effort. It's like running a small business. It's a lot of time. But yeah, some traders really pull out the stops to enhance a server.
Absolutely, absolutely.
100%. 100%.
You know, I just clicked to. I know exactly what your server is now. To tell Psycho I say hello. I haven't talked to him for a while.
You know, so oh yeah, that's right. That he knows you as well. I was about to say, I remember you. I remember. Yeah. Fucking hey, dude.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions from my co-hosts?
Yes. Yes.
She's diving in.
So, yeah, sorry. No, I've been sitting here like trying to like, I've been, yeah, really wrapped in like your descriptions of, oh, sorry, can I go ahead now or did I jump in too quick?
No, okay, get in.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm getting like, I'm trying to get a visual picture because this excites me because I thought, I don't think I know a server that's ever done like, well, how I'm picturing it, is it like a subway?
Yes.
Is it like a subway?
It's all
God. So you got
most
trains
of
in
it's
there too?
underground. We have box carts.
Like,
We got
does
the
it look like
trains.
an actual train station?
We were able to. The red line is the existing train line from Civet all the way to Tricresta. Then we made others to go like the yellow line, the green line, and then there's tunnels, and so like we would throw down, train tracks, throw a train cart, make it look like it fell, exploded. The background is it's a war, so there's a government that was in place that essentially was genocidal, and it's like totalitarian control of the subway system, and they didn't make it. And this is afterwards. So, like they got overthrown, rebels got knocked out. This is it. Like everybody's kind of dead. Then these are refugees that are making their story. Like this, I'm kind of giving it to them to like now it's up to you to do it.
Yeah,
And so
nice.
Yeah,
we got guys,
nice.
we got groups and that want to go one direction. They want to be good guys. They got other groups that want to be bad guys and go this direction. And it's cool. You got neutral people who just want to sell stuff, make money. And then I think we're going to try to add something where like with Discord money. So like if you get a certain amount of money in Discord, you can get like an extra something in your, like you can get like like a structure, we can reinforce it a little bit. But we won't be offering anything like you get a can of food or guns or anything. We hate pay to win, if that makes sense. Heard that
Yeah.
servers do that. We're not going to do that. It's going to be more cosmetic, like kind of like this in here. This is sick.
Because you want to
I would,
evolve and develop that community.
yeah, I want them to do it themselves. Like, if you want stuff, you got to go
Yeah.
get it. I'm not giving you anything really.
Nice. And when you mention like, okay, and this is the part I'm trying to get my in my head visual. I'm gonna come on and I'm gonna have a look myself. But like with like when you say about the town, so are the towns in the tunnel as well, or are you coming out of the tunnel and then you're out in daylight and to the town?
So the tunnels they're all underground, most of them. There's some of them that are above ground. There's like one or two, but we stole the idea from Fallout 4 DLC with fog condensers so that we can make some areas outside accessible without having to use the NBC suit. Like if you want to go into Servergrad is a gas zone. If you want to get to Commence Military Base, which is all underground, like we stuck a roof on it. We have rock walls. We got tunnels to get to it. It's real dark in there. There's a fire in there. And so like if you want to, so it's not gas in the military area, but to get there, you have to cross a gas area. Some of Novo's gassed, but Novo City itself is like it's in I would say like a tunnel-like complex. And so we just tried to, yeah, we just give you that feel that you're always underground.
That's what I was gonna say. So it feels like so you're spawning in and like so fresh spawn. You're spawning in. Where are you spawning at? Are you spawning in the safe zone to start with, or are you spawning in like in the middle of the tunnel and you're like, wait, which way do I go? Like, and you have to sort
That
of find your way.
that that's a fair question. So for the beta, we did it where you just show up to the safe zone because the place is so confusing. One second, one second. What's up, little dude?
You gotta hide from the you gotta hide from the monster.
He
You
wants to
gotta
get
hide from the
involved.
monsters?
That's his admin.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Go hide from the monsters. Go. I gotta talk to these people real fast. I'll be with you guys in a minute, I
It's
promise.
cute.
Oh.
And so yeah, that's my son Oliver and my nephew Emmerich. And so the safe zone we have people go there, and my character is called Lewis Clark. That's an old traveler that found Oregon a long time ago. And so like I try to find people who are like, I have no idea where I'm going, and I'm like, all right, follow me, I'll show you, and like I'll show them around. And like, I didn't know you could open that door. I didn't know you could do this. And I'm like, yeah, you can open this door, go through here. Oh, I didn't know there's stairs here. And I'm like, yeah. They're like, I didn't know there was a tunnel in the wall right there. And I'm like, yeah, it's right here. And like I show them. I do a lot of that. And so later, after the update, we'll probably have others like places where you spawn. So you can't do it in the tunnel because the tunnel itself has a roof. And the moment you do that, your character is on the roof. It kind of sucks. So we got to make like this
Oh.
little square, like where there's no roof, and then put the spawn point there, and that's where you're at. But when you look up in the bunker darkness, you don't see the roof. You don't see that there's a hole that's allowing you in there. And so, yes, you do spawn in like
Oh.
underground kind of.
Ooh,
Nice.
very
And
nice.
sorry, I know I've got a million questions, but listen, also just quickly, and are you spawning in like with just like official freshness, or have you customized the spawn gear,
Yes, it's
what you're
customized.
spawning in with?
So you get an NPC suit and you get 2 masks, and then you get a chicken. Um, encourages people. It's kind of cool. It encourages people to like roll up next to the fire and like start a fire, and they all bullshit and they're like, "Where the hell do we go?" It's kind of cool. I like watching that process. It's cool. And they're like, "I'm going to go this way," and they all kind of bullshit and go that way or something. And then you get, I think an unknown food can if I remember correctly, and that's it.
Ah. You get a knife?
Do you get a stone? Yeah, you get a stone knife. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Yep. You just hang out the
Oh,
safe
that
zone,
sounds
bruv.
yeah, sounds nice. Yeah.
Entryway of
Steal
the
everyone.
tunnel.
Oh
And
no, I can't steal everyone's chickens. No.
nope, you can rob them.
Nope. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
But you
but
know, I have read the bits.
the people on there though are awesome. Like the people we've been getting, it's mostly my friend Recon. It's a lot of his friends and a lot of the people that he's run with over the years. Some of the people we've ran with over the years, and then it's like their friends' friends and word of mouth. Yeah, it's really cool. Like
And it
getting a
sounds
lot of
like
those people
everyone's
in.
working together. Like you said, like everyone sort of, is meeting and they're like, hey, let's try this way. And everyone sort of, is that sort of the vibe? Everyone sort of helps each other out? Or maybe initially, anyway.
Oh, you killed him.
Sorry about. No, I'm so sorry. My bad.
You're good. You're
My
good.
kiddo was on my leg and
Yeah,
was
you're
asking
all
me
right.
a
Yeah,
question.
we all got kidlums.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. We've got lots of children
That's
between us,
it.
or lots of them. Lots. Lots. Yeah, so it's fine.
Mine are all
What was
gaffer
your question
taped
again?
in the cupboard.
I do apologize.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you can't ask me that. You can't ask me what I asked like 5 seconds ago. It's gone. I don't know. I can't even remember.
Fair enough.
Because then, he brought up kids and that distracted me. Now I'm thinking about my kids and what I got to do today. And,
That's
How
it.
many kids you
you
got?
asked me, what did I ask? I don't know. Now I'm thinking about like getting
Got,
groceries. I
got
have no
live.
idea. I get sidetracked. No, thank you so much for your time and answering my questions. Super appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I look forward to
Fair
jumping
enough.
on, checking
Yeah,
it out. The
absolutely.
subway.
Absolutely.
I want to go in a subway.
That's it. Train rides.
Nice concept. Love it.
Called the Pit. I'll flick you the Discord.
Yes, please.
Mr. Q?
And your homework and your application. Just copy that. Copy that too. Copy it.
Well, I mean, Swiney just covered most of the questions I was about to ask. So.
Sorry, I got it right. Be excited about this one.
Fair enough. You guys still hear me right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Too easy. Okay.
So, Mr. Q, all out of questions.
I am.
Oh, fair enough. Done.
Thanks,
Okay.
Swiney.
I tried to
yeah,
cover
sorry about
everything on the pit. My team was like, don't forget to say this. 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 Don't forget to... I'm like, all right, man. I was like, I'll fuck it. I swear.
Did we?
I promise. I'll
Did we
do
miss
my best.
anything? Did we miss anything?
No.
There is
I don't
one
think so.
question, but, and this is our chat moderator wants to know, if you could add a onesie into DayZ, what would it be?
A onesie.
Yep.
I would go with like some Pokemon. Some Pokemon. I don't know why.
Charizard running around.
Nice.
Pikachu.
Squirtle.
Pikachu.
God, yep. That's a hell of a question.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a number one. That's a number one. So we're gonna be Pokemon, so you can get the little eggs out and catch them all. Or in your case, shoot them with a rubber slug, tie them up, and then you've caught them.
Oh, I think you reminded me of something because you could catch bears with those Easter eggs. I remember that.
Oh yeah. Do you have the
Yeah.
eggs in
We
your?
can still do that on DayZ, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
You can Pokemon ball them.
I forgot about that. Is there's this bear on my server in like Tricresta, and because it's so dark there and the lights work okay, you would say. When there was a team that got attacked over there, and they swear it wasn't a bear, and like I'm like breaking character. I'm like, no, for real, and they're like, no, dude, it's something else. Did you code something over there? And I'm like, no. They're like, no, dude, it's something. I don't know what it is, but it keeps killing all our friends. We can't go down there. It's a dangerous place, dude. It's got tentacles. Like they're like making their own lore on it. I'm like, and I went with it. I was like $1,000 whoever catches the octopus, and they're like, and everybody's talking about it. They're like, they got to get this monster, and I know it's just a fucking bear. It keeps walking down the tunnel attacking people.
The new
Oh, that's awesome.
the new lords of DayZ. You've got the haunted Radio Zenith. You've got the mother bear that's out at the ski resort, and now you've got the tentacle monster at Tricresta.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. They all talk about it. I love it. And I don't correct them. I'm like, yeah, it's got to be that. It's got to be that. It's got to be an octopus.
That's hectic. It is funny. People add into the story and developing their own runs, and then the server taking hold of it and becoming a server myth.
Yeah, that's kind of when I look at that. I was like, I know it's a fucking bear that's attacking them, but I'm like, I'm gonna run with this. This is cool.
That's it.
And they're like, no, dude, it's something else. And I'm like, all right, it's something else for sure. Get it. And like, I'm giving people Mosins. I'm like, go get it, dude. You gotta kill it. Bring it back. Get out of the tunnels. It's fun.
That's hectic. That is hectic.
Hey, actually, I got a little question. Sorry, a little question. There is logic to this question.
Yep.
But if an animal stands on a fire, do they die? Like, you know how we stand on it, we go,
Yeah.
and then eventually,
Oh.
like, die.
I don't. Can they?
Yeah. I
I've
believe
never
so.
actually seen it, but
I've never tested. I've definitely burned people before. I've tested that one out.
I was just thinking, like, imagine that, like, in the tunnel. I was thinking about the fox sound when you kill them. You know the fox sound? The,
Yep.
like, it's horrible. Imagine if you're cruising through tunnels and you could make a section that is sort of, like, on the side. So it's not in the tunnel, but just make, like, a little cage off to the side. You can't see it, right? And you fill it with, like, fires, and then you just have foxes keep spawning in, and then they just keep
dying.
making that horrific
Big
noise.
noise.
Like, and you're walking through the tunnels. Imagine hearing that. Imagine.
Background noise is the best too.
Yeah.
Because we have explosions
Yeah.
in Novaya Petrovka, and people are like, "What is that?" I'm like, "We're bombing the mutants outside," and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're bombing the mutants." They're like, "That's fucking awesome." Like, dude,
Yeah.
can those hurt you? And I'm like, "Yeah, don't go out there." I tell everybody not to go out there. And then my buddy, he always tells them to go out there. And so I'm like, don't go out there because you'll clearly die. It's not safe out there. Like, and I do it in like an old man voice. I'm like, don't do it. There's bad shit out there. And they're like, what are you questioning me? You think I'm not brave enough? Like I had one guy, I'm like, don't do it, dude. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. And he goes out there and he's out there for like 5 minutes and he shows up back at spawn. He's like, I didn't make it. It's like, dude, I told you don't go out there. It's fucking dangerous.
Add into the
Like
myth.
a bomb hit me.
Add into the myth.
And so that tunnel's cool because you have to jump in that one and you fall down, but you can't come back. And so that's kind of where I started. I was like, oh, it looks like a pit. I was like, oh, I think that's the name. And yeah,
Oh,
so
sick.
that's where we started
There
from.
we go. Origin stories. Good question. Very good question.
The Novaya Petrovka just looks like it's just in shambles. I like it. And you
Yeah.
can't stay in one spot at all or you will die.
He will die. That's hectic. Well, we're gonna have to go for a little adventure, I think. After the
I think
Indeed.
so.
cow run kicks over, we have to go for an adventure community run on the pit. All right. Well, that's our little one-on-one with Mr. Normal Man and about the pit.